All right, we are back, Santa Clarita, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. Special guest Chris on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We got a text from Doug and Doug's attorney. Apparently, it does have to be the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John and special guest Chris. And we do have to talk politics. I'm sorry. But we can talk. We can tweak politics.
Okay. No, it's okay. I can just listen.
We've got our national correspondent Robert Patrick Lewis on the line.
Oh, great.
Robert's a good guy, right, Robert?
Yes, sir.
I mean, just because Doug is forcing us to talk politics from afar, we can change this around a little bit. So let's see, politics. We're not talking about gun control or anything like that. Okay, I got it. Jeb Bush announced. Are you excited? And the crickets chirp. Is anybody exciting you?
Is anybody exciting me? Well, I think Donald Trump is exciting, but for completely different reasons. He's gonna bring some flair into the ring, that's for sure.
Well, he's certainly exciting if you're a member of SNL.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't know. It's funny. Donald Trump has a tendency to let his mouth run before his brain thinks, and he's already starting to play that out. He did an interview with Bloomberg yesterday. A lot of the establishment is coming out and saying they just see him as a wild card. They think he's just going to be a disruptor and take attention away from everything else. But one of the things he does bring to the table is a lot of powerful friends. But on Bloomberg yesterday, he let his mouth kind of get away from him. Started, touting some of those big names that he was dropping, and one of those was famed investor Carl Icahn, who only found out about that from reading the article and came out and said, "No, not a chance. I'm not going to be Secretary of Treasury for Donald Trump."
Well, and if you think about it, okay, everybody goes, "Well, he's completely ridiculous." I'm like, "Well, wait a minute."
Is that the way he sounds when he talks?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
okay.
He's pretty ridiculous. That's all I got. That was my invitation right there. Okay, you just blew it. No, but think about it for a second. The dude he filed for bankruptcy, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Okay, and at one point in time, it was like dead on broke, not Chapter 11 reorganization, not a corporate ploy. And then he came back and he's worth, $8 billion now or some ridiculous number?
Yeah, well, he's very good at what he does. He's a very smart man. He's a capitalist about as much as the name defines. The big problem is that, over the last couple of decades, the left has done a really good job of demonizing successful businessmen.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at the same time, they have no trouble with, the corruption class, the Hillary Clintons of the world, who just everybody knows they're about as corrupt as it comes. They're millionaires many, many, many times over from straight corruption. And they have no problem with that. But a successful business person like, Ross Perot was the last person that was a full-blown candidate.
I'll give you that.
They have successfully demonized that reputation of being a successful business person today, and I just don't think he has a shot because of that.
Well, here's a good question for both you guys. You guys have, especially Chris, he's done he's had to deal with makeovers of public image.
Oh, all the time. Sure.
How do the Clintons get away with it, and somebody like Ross Perot or even Donald Trump, for lack of a better term, how do they not get away with it?
A big thing with the Clintons, and there's been a couple of articles over the last several months about this, a big reason is they just don't even acknowledge it, and, there's misdirection in the media. They have a tendency to move on to something else about as quickly as another scandal comes up about them, and that's just kind of what America thinks of the Clintons. We know they're corrupt, we know they're dirty, we know they're liars, and they don't ever come out and deny it. It's just what people believe, and they're very good at misdirecting the attention of the short-lived attention span of the American people and just moving on to something else before people can really focus in on the dozens and dozens of scandals that have plagued Hillary Clinton since Whitewater.
And I think it's always been that way with politicians, no different than musicians. I mean, that musicians go in and out of things or something is written about something, and usually it is about getting the next thing going so quickly that goes out of the human mind so quickly. I mean, as an example in music, CeeLo was hot as can be with Forget You, and now he's kind of been quiet. You don't hear that much about him, and we're actively with a new campaign. He's a really good guy, but in the consciousness of the American public, they still don't know that much about him. And his new song coming up, actually, it's a beautiful song. It's called Robin Williams. And it's not funny, and it's very poignant, and it's going to put him back on the map and very thought out.
And that's I guess, Robert, we can tie this back into politics because that's right. That's exactly what happens with Clinton. It's a short news cycle.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's exactly, that's the media is on their side, not only because it they fawn all over themselves whenever somebody from the left comes out with a new message, but they're very good at just quickly misdirecting it, not focusing on anything that hurts somebody like Hillary Clinton.
Robert, are you on your way to the fundraiser that Obama's doing tonight?
Yeah, I'll steer clear of that one.
Okay, I was just curious what you're doing.
Oh, Robert, what do you think of our lighter, new, happier feeling political discussion today?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Unfortunately, I wish there was more good things to report on. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good substance these days, and it's scary. I mean, we're still pretty far out, but it is scary to see that even as more and more people add their name to the ticket, there's still nobody good. And I think it goes more to say, the best and the brightest stay far away from politics these days.
Oh, really? I was just about to ask you, when are you going to announce that you're running?
Yeah, right. Maybe skeletons in the closet for that one.
That sounds like a conversation for off of the air. We'll have to figure that out someday. But, all right, Robert, hey, the book, it's out?
Yes, sir.
Book signings?
Working on it. There's a lot of different things that are going on right now, so we got to kind of put the schedule together.
Can't wait.
But yeah, we'll be having some in St. Clarita, definitely.
All right. Thank you, Robert Patrick Lewis.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, guys.
All-around good guy, national correspondent, Green Beret, not former Green Beret. We've talked about this. He's no longer serving as the Green Beret, but he's still... Anyway, we talked about that. All right, you listen to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. By contractual obligation, we're required to say with Doug and John and special guest Chris on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, Santa Clarita, the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station, and special guest Chris. Kind of remember where to throw that in because Doug's lawyers called during the break. We're still in some violation, so we've fulfilled our contractual obligation.
It's kind of like I represent the Temptations, but it's not the original Temptations, so it has to be former founding member of all these.
Was like Cool in the Gang.
there's the Cool in the Gang guy too. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah, I had a buddy who was involved in that litigation, and it was like they had two touring groups. One was Cool and the artist formerly known as The Gang, and one was
usually
the artist formerly known as Cool and former members of The Gang.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And they did the exact same set list, I'm sure. I almost guarantee it.
You would have a lot more fun in entertainment law.
I should. Yeah,
I think so.
It'd be more entertaining. See what I did there?
Keep going.
All right, well, speaking of happy hours, we really weren't, but this is a good happy hour. We have Mr. Happy Hour on the line. Mr. Happy Hour, how you doing?
Hey, John, good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, you've never met Chris, but Chris is a very happy guy. He's got a lot of good insight on the local scene. He actually had a question.
On happy hours.
On happy hours. He actually had a question for you. And let's break it down a little bit. Mr. Happy Hour, you are proprietor of the website scvhappyhour.com, right?
Right, correct.
All right.
Which is brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, I told Chris how that all started with you on a budget, right?
Right.
And wanting to eat and drink.
And who isn't?
And wanting to eat and drink for as cheaply as possible.
And who doesn't want to do that?
You're 2 for 2.
It's perfect.
And gathering information doesn't seem like a lot of work. Actually, Mr. Happy,
not a lot of hard work.
Let me ask you a question. If you could
it was a lot of work. It was a lot of research, guys. Believe me.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of hard work, huh?
It was really tough.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. If you could give up your full-time job and do this full-time, wouldn't you?
Oh man, in a heartbeat. This would be great. I think I should just go city to city to city.
That's
just really blow this thing up.
Are we working on the happy hour pub crawl? Because that was my idea.
I think that's a great idea, John. I'm all for that. I think that's a great. We should make that happen.
I'm in.
Yeah, except you might need to drive.
Uber.
My wife will drive. She doesn't drink, so she can drive.
My daughter drives. She doesn't drink. As far as I know, she doesn't drink.
She's going to college.
Yeah.
I have some good news and some bad news for you. So, Chris, you were talking about your normal happy hour routine.
Yeah, my happy hour routine on a Friday night especially is we go over to Pucella, which we're members of the wine club. Now, I know they don't serve food, but they're tied in with Newhall Refinery across the street, which is another one of our new favorite places.
And I was telling him, Mr. Happy Hour, that you could probably get him a better place in Newhall to go to.
That's what we're looking.
Hey, I have a bunch of places in Newhall, and actually, when you said the wine bar, I am actually working on a few of those to kind of bring them into the mix also, because I know they are offering happy hours. A lot of them, like you said, don't have food, but they have great wine specials.
More and more are creeping up out here. 661, which I've been to once, normally to see whatever entertainment they might have playing, you know?
Right, and they do have some great entertainment. At the mall, what's that one right near Larson's? Is that the...
Oh, that's
Valencia Wine Company.
Valencia Wine
Oh, on
Country.
Town Center.
Great, great live bands. I believe
Yep.
it was on Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
I think it's Saturday night. They had some really
See,
great
now you can expand, Mr. Happy Hour. You can be Mr. Happy Hour and Mr. Post Happy Hour.
That's a lot of happy.
Hey, John, we could turn this into like the Elmer Dills of Santa Clarita Valley.
There we go. We could
Heck,
go.
for the happy hour, we'll just do the whole restaurant thing.
Well, why not?
Everything.
Yeah, that's not. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Okay, we'll talk off the air. All right. So, what good happy hour spots you got for us this week?
Hey, I was going to talk about one location in Valencia. One of my clients, the Salt Creek Grill.
Ah, my favorites.
Yeah.
Me too.
And you said, for like business happy hours, this is the perfect location for the business happy hours. So more in the fine dining arena. Got full bar. They have live music on Friday nights. They got the free Wi-Fi. But their deal, basically, the days are Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. That's in the bar only and the little front patio to the left as you walk in.
That's the best
So
place
that's
ever.
what's limited to. Yep. Draft beers are $5. Bottled beers go for $4. We got well drinks at $4. You got house wines by the glass at $5. They also have some great daily specials. On Monday, it's half price on bottles of wine, half price on draft beer.
Wow.
On Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, they have half price wine by the glass, and Thursdays they have half price Grey Goose martinis. So that's
there you go.
added to the happy hours. They have their daily specials also.
That's pretty.
And that's going to be one of your higher end happy hours,
Yeah.
I got to believe, because
Yeah.
Doug usually is at the Elks Club where
Hey.
when you ask what kind of wine they like, they said red or white.
No, they go, which box would you like us to open?
Yes, exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
But the beers are probably 50 cents a piece. So you can't knock that.
Exactly.
That's true too.
You
That's
can't
true
beat
too.
that one.
No, it's always a fun night.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Happy Hour. What else you got, real quick?
Yeah, real quick to just run down their appetizers, too. They've got some great food there, as you know, at Salt Creek. They do some house-made chips with gorgonzola cheese and bacon for $5. They got artichoke and Parmesan spinach dip served with tortilla chips, baked oat cheese marinara, sauteed
all
wild
right, all right.
mushrooms.
Yeah,
You're
and the owners are fantastic, and just I have
Greg
to add that.
Amsler and Jennifer Chadwick, the marketing manager, also
Yeah,
does a
Greg
great
is
job.
wonderful. He also catered our Kenny Loggins benefit concert
Oh, that's
that
right.
we had at Golden Valley last year. So those are great folks over there.
Yeah, great folks. And they got some great Greek sliders. They got some corned beef sliders for $8.
Oh, geez, enough.
Stuffed jumbo shrimp for $11. They got a chicken salad, lettuce cups with.
Okay, I didn't eat lunch before the show. You're killing me, all right?
They're like $9.
When does
That's a great place to go.
When does that happy hour start? 3 o'clock?
That one is 4 to 6:30 p.m. just
right.
Monday through Fridays.
All right, and the website once more?
SEVhappyhour.com.
All right.
This is going to become your biggest segment on this show.
Yeah,
I can
there's
tell
no question.
already.
There's no question.
I love it.
I need to go. I need to know where to go right afterwards. All right, Mr. Happy Hour, thanks so much.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Chris.
We'll talk to you next week. All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John and special guest Chris on AM-1220 KHTS Santa Clarita's hometown station. Take that, Doug's Lawyers.